Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Marissa and I do reviews for handbags, purses, and work totes. This is the Marina Tote from Oleada. It's a brand I've been seeing a lot on social media and they focus on workwear bags specifically. So I ordered a few different styles from that company just to see them in person, figure out what fits inside, and determine whether or not it meets my needs. But this is one of the bags that I ordered, so I'll show you some of the features, what the inside looks like, what I was able to fit inside, and some of like the pros and cons that I noticed, hoping that it will help you make an informed decision before you hit buy. So stick around and we'll get right into it. So the Marina Tote is made of a really soft Napa leather. It's nice and smooth, no pebbling or grainy texture to it. Feels really supple, really buttery, and it's the same material used all the way around, including at the base, where you have 4 metallic feet. On the front, there's a little space here for you to attach one of their like bag charm pouch things and tuck it into the front. Give it a little bit of character. On the back, you have their luggage strap and it is not removable. Up here, you actually have a hidden cell phone compartment, so you can slip your phone in and out, and that is a quick access pocket on the outside of the bag. The main compartment of the bag is a zip, but on either side of it, you have little D-rings that you can use to attach a longer shoulder or crossbody strap. And it doesn't come with the Marina Tote, but Oleada does sell them. Last thing about the exterior is that you do have this strap that you can use to attach the 2 handles together if you want. I slid it down to the side for now. And on the inside, you have a really good amount of organization actually. First, it's lined in this like vegan suede that feels really, really nice to the touch. But on the back, you have a main laptop compartment and it's secured with this snap button closure. So that goes all the way across. And you've got 2 pockets in the front. Then on the other side, there's a long zipper compartment here and 2 more pockets in the front. The third and my favorite is that there's a little pocket on the side for a water bottle. So you can kind of see it's like this ruched thing here. And that would also fit anything else that you need to stand vertically, like, I don't know, umbrellas or like your cosmetics that you don't want to like tip over and spill. Okay, let's see what fits inside. Of course, the very first thing that we're always going to be concerned about for our work totes is our laptop. But before I try to show you what my MacBook looks like in there, I wanted to measure the actual space of the laptop compartment for you so that you know the width that you're working with. Oftentimes, you have a lot of room to play when it comes to the height of a laptop you can fit inside a bag. I find that the width is like a limiting factor, especially if you want to fit in like a laptop sleeve space like the Marina does and not the overall bag itself. So I don't always trust the advertised laptop size that they have for bag dimensions online. So I'm going to show you what you can get away with. All right, so measuring all the way across. The entire width of that laptop sleeve compartment is about 13.5 inches, which is pretty big. So if your laptop is about 13.5 inches, like side to side or smaller, it should be able to fit inside. And again, like the limiting factor is really just like the height of the overall bag itself, because if you can't fully close that snap button closure, it's like not the end of the world. Either way, the bag will fit inside and the bag itself will zip. So like you're good. All right. So I'll take my 13-inch MacBook, put it inside the sleeve. That goes in, and I'm going to snap the button closed. And I like that it has that because then it prevents your laptop from like rocking around back and forth when you're carrying it or using it. Then I have this laptop charger case thing that I'll put in. I'm going to use this water bottle. It's empty for now, but for demonstration purposes, that's going to go in the water bottle side pocket. Then I have a notebook and my Kindle Paperwhite, which is like the 6.7 inch size, something like that. So those are going to go in as well, right? And then I also have this, these are my headphones, like my over-ear headphones, but I like to use this as like a proxy for a lunchbox. Because a lot of people, when they're looking for like a larger capacity bag, usually it's because they want to be able to bring their lunch. I think this is like roughly a small lunchbox size. So I'm going to use that and let's pretend that that's my lunch. So that's going in. Then I have my headphones and a little cosmetic pouch. Those are going in as well. Duh. And then just little knickknacks like a lipstick and my AirPods. So that is everything that I would normally want to take with me with extra. By extra, I mean if I really had to, I could get by without the lunchbox, without the water bottle, and maybe like a bunch of the little non-necessary things like my Kindle or an accessory pouch. So this bag was able to fit everything in there just now, but let's see if she actually zips. So take her. Beautiful. That was so easy. Everything fit inside. There's nothing bulging, I don't think. This looks like a really reasonable amount of stuff to put in. I'm really impressed by that. And she doesn't look like, again, like she's like bursting at the seams. So that is a really, really nice capacity size. And also there's still room to play with, I think. I'll show you how much room is left. So there's definitely still space. If you can see where my hand is on top, running along the top of things. And again, I'm putting in really tall things like the headphones and the laptop charger space, but there's still a lot of room like across the top where you could still zip the bag closed. You just have to do a little bit more like stacking to get it all in. But yeah, that's what you can carry. So some things I noticed about the Marina. First, that the straps are really nice and corded, so like they're round instead of flat. And somehow I find those to stay on my shoulder better. If ones that are flat tend to slide around a lot more, but when you have the corded style straps like this tote, they tend to just like sit down and like stay there, especially when you cross them like this. Now, in terms of the usability of some of the features, I haven't used this ever. Cell phone pocket, yes, use that. I have it on my Tumi backpacks. I wish all work bags had that. The main zip compartment is fine. The zipper is smooth, it glides well, it doesn't catch. I don't have any issues with it. And in terms of the pockets on the inside, I like that the laptop compartment, like I mentioned earlier, has this snap button because it keeps the laptop pulled to the side, almost like a seat belt. I love that it has a water bottle compartment because sometimes the water bottle is really the most annoying thing to have in your bag because it's this shape that wants to, first of all, fall over. And when it's falling over, it's like rolling around a little bit because it's like a round shape. And it also really limits how many other things you can put in, especially because it's round, it's hard to stack things on top of it when it's like lying horizontally. So in other bags where I have a water bottle, which inevitably falls down like this, there's only so much you can stack on top of it before the stuff wants to like move around the water bottle, and then it just ends up being like a really bulging bag on the sides instead of like stacking up the way that you want. Because when you have these flat pockets here, you can't really put things that are very thick into them. So if you had something that was like in a regular shape, like a hair claw, I can't put a hair claw on the side, but I can put the hair claw in the water bottle pocket. So those are my favorite pros about the Oleada bag. There's some other like really nice to have features I don't think are essential, but I'm glad they thought of it. The first is like this reinforcement here. So if you see how there's like this thicker material that reinforces the sides and edges of the bag, I like this because what it does is when you're wearing it, it protects, first of all, the bag from collapsing too far. It's keeping some of that rigidity, right? But what it does is, see how that design, this curve here, stops right there? The rigidity is kept down to the main compartment of the bag, but the very top of it, where it's meant to sit under your arm, will still flatten comfortably. So this design here is actually very intentional, and it keeps and protects the capacity of the bag while also still allowing it to mold to your body the way it's meant to be worn. I think that is such an intelligent feature that someone thought of, because when I was wearing it, I noticed it, right? I noticed that like, oh, this is still staying puffed open, but it's still nice and flat against my body where my arm is. So this is something that I don't think people would notice right away when they're shopping, but it's one that I noticed after having and like putting things in and wearing it around for a while. So yeah, they did a great job with those features. Some of the cons about the Marina tote. The first is that it's a really soft, slouchy style tote. So if you set it down, she'll still stand up on her own, like you can see. But do you see, right now the bag is fully empty, by the way, like there's nothing in there. And it's like slouching just from its own weight. And so it doesn't have as much structure as I personally would prefer. I would want something that could stand up just a little bit more than this, because as you wear the bag, as you keep putting things in, it will just soften and soften, right? So the fact that this is its starting point just indicates to me that it's not gonna hold its shape forever. It's just gonna keep slouching. That slouching is also translating to the inside. So if I just hold it here, the bag collapses on itself a little bit. So even when it's standing up on the table, the sides are caving in like this because of the slouchy material. Other thing that I hope that it might change in like a future iteration of the bag is that the handles don't fold backward. So if you see the handles, they're not meant to fold back. It's like a straight, smooth piece of leather. But whenever you fold it back to get into the bag, because you have to, right? Like you can't have it up there forever, especially because it's so slouchy. Do you see how the handles are like going back? And when you do that, you're gonna get a lot of creasing along the sides here. This has happened in some of my other bags too, where because you keep folding the handles back, you get creasing, you get cracking, and that's where most of the wear on a bag will show. So whenever I see a tote bag where the design is like this, where the handles are just up and that's like their default setting, there's no like joint here or hardware to help it fold, I get a little bit worried about that. So at the price point where you're looking at leather bags, just be mindful of how much wear you're okay with seeing. But yeah, so if they were able to fix that, then great. Other critique I have here is that I do want the base to be firmer. You would look at this and think like, oh cool, it has a structured base. It doesn't. This is the same, look how slouchy that is. It's the same exact slouchiness that you have up here. So it's slightly reinforced in that it's not as thin as like the main body of the bag, but it's still very, very soft. I would want something that has a lot more hardness to it because you're giving it feet, right? Like you're already halfway there. Like just make it a good base already. And I care about this because when you've got a lot of things inside the bag, especially things that are like a little bit heavier, you're gonna start to see it bulge on the bottom here. Like you're gonna see it sag a little bit. And to me, that's not as good of a look. Aside from that, like there's not too many other things that I would change. I think it was really intelligently designed, and these are all things I'm just being like super, super nitpicky about. My final verdict, yes, get the Marina tote. We like it. I like that it's just so comfortable. It's intelligently designed. I pointed out some of like the really unique features of this bag to you. I think this is definitely one of the examples of what it means to have a brand that comes with a work style, workwear first attitude to the products that they design. The beauty and the aesthetics are like secondary. Of course, like they're there and they're present in what Oleada does, but I think they really do a great job of making sure that they come to you with a functional product that has clearly had a lot of thought baked into it. So I'm really impressed by the capacity of this bag as well. I've done a review, I don't know when it's gonna get uploaded, but they do have other bags that, you know, look like they would fit a lot more, but actually the Marina trumps them and was able to fit more than the bags that look visually much bigger. So definitely check out the Marina. If you want to save a few bucks, there's a code in my video description. It would help me out a lot if you used it, and I would so appreciate it, but absolutely no pressure, and I will see you guys next time.